They said superheroes wore capes. But in 2050, the real heroes wear calm. It's early morning in New York City, January 1st, 2050. The sky glows pale gold over silent streets. A coffee shop owner unlocks her door, but instead of rushing, she breathes slowly, steady, and mindful. Because this year, the world changed. For the first time in history, mental health became the most valuable currency on Earth. The decade before had been noisy, burnout, anxiety, endless screens. But 2050 arrived with a quiet revolution. It wasn't driven by technology or politics. It was driven by people who finally decided that peace of mind was worth more than profit. It started small. One viral post. A young creator uploaded a simple video titled, "What if the mind was a muscle we could train like the body?" Within days, billions watched. People realized they'd spent years sculpting their abs, but ignored their thoughts. Meditation apps crashed from over-downloads. Workplaces began offering mental fitness breaks. Schools replaced attention with mindfulness sessions. And then the phrase was born, mental health is the new superpower. At first, big companies laughed. Then they looked at the data. In 2050, teams that practiced daily mindfulness outperformed others by 40% in creativity and 31% in productivity. The market rewarded calm thinkers. CEOs swapped the hustle culture poster for one that read, "Stillness wins." Tech firms introduced focus pods, soundproof booths where employees could breathe, stretch, or do nothing for 5 minutes. Amazon, Microsoft, and Tesla competed to build the first AI that measured emotional well-being instead of engagement time. Work was no longer about grinding till exhaustion. It became about flow. Gen Z, the generation once labeled anxious, flipped the narrative. They became the calmest generation alive. In 2050, they coined the trend of soft power living. Instead of bragging about all-nighters, influencers bragged about 8 hours of sleep. The hashtags, Rest is Rich and Peaceflex, exploded. Imagine scrolling your feed and seeing friends post, "I didn't lose my mind today, and that's my win." Even dating apps adapted. Instead of showing how adventurous you were, profiles listed your emotional intelligence score. Swiping right wasn't about looks, it was about who could listen. One viral meme summed it up perfectly. In 2020, we fought over toilet paper. In 2050, we will fight over therapists. Therapists became the new rock stars, podcast hosts, authors, late-night guests. There was even a Netflix reality show called The Calm Off, where contestants competed to stay centered through chaos. The finale? A thunderstorm, flashing lights, ringing phones, and one woman still meditating, smiling, peaceful. She won $1 million. The message was clear. Composure was now entertainment. Schools changed too. Homework? Optional. Emotional check-ins? Mandatory. Students started the day with 5 minutes of breathing. Kids learned what a panic attack felt like, how to comfort a friend, and how to talk about sadness without shame. Teachers noticed something wild. Grades went up. Anxiety went down. Bullying decreased by 45%. Parents called it magic, but it wasn't magic. It was humanity finally teaching emotional literacy. Behind the scenes, neuroscientists made breakthroughs. They discovered that gratitude literally rewired the brain faster than antidepressants for some people. By mid-2050, major hospitals prescribed journaling before medication. A new branch of medicine emerged: neurobalance therapy. Doctors used brain scans to track emotional stability, just like heart rate. People could see stress levels on a screen and watch them fall as they meditated. One doctor said, "For years we treated broken bones faster than broken minds. That ends now." When mental health became a measurable economic factor, governments couldn't ignore it. Countries started publishing national happiness indexes. Iceland led the way, proving that nations with better mental health saw lower crime, fewer divorces, and higher innovation. The United States soon followed, launching the Calm Initiative, offering tax credits to businesses that provided therapy or mindfulness sessions. Suddenly, peace wasn't just personal, it was patriotic. The more society practiced awareness, the more superhuman people seemed. Marathon runners trained mentally before physically. Soldiers practiced compassion alongside discipline. Even gamers used meditation to enhance reflexes. One esports champion told reporters, "I don't rage anymore. I breathe. That's why I win." The world finally saw that strength wasn't shouting louder, it was staying calm when others panicked. Despite the serious tone, 2050 wasn't all serenity and yoga mats. People laughed about their obsession with mindfulness. TikTok exploded with skits of couples arguing, only to pause mid-fight and say, "I acknowledge your emotion." Coffee shops renamed drinks, the Zen Latte, Anxiety No More Mocha. Memes read, "I meditated so hard I almost reached my rent money." Humor kept balance alive. Because being mentally healthy doesn't mean being perfect. It means laughing at the chaos, then breathing through it. Every revolution has side effects. Some people took it too far, using mental health as an excuse to avoid responsibility. "I can't come to work. My aura is buffering." Companies had to learn the difference between self-care and self-avoidance. But even that debate helped humanity mature. For once, we were talking about emotions openly, not hiding them behind screens. AI joined the movement. Instead of tracking clicks, algorithms started tracking well-being. YouTube offered mindful playback, slowing music or dimming light intensity when your facial expression looked tired. Smartphones gently suggested, "It looks like you've been scrolling for an hour. Want to breathe for 60 seconds? Virtual assistants became emotional coaches. Alexa 2.5 didn't just remind you of meetings, she reminded you to hydrate and forgive yourself. At first, people mocked it. Then, they admitted it worked. Humanity had created machines that reminded us to be human. Across continents, the trend spread. In Japan, forest listening rooms opened cafes where silence was sacred. In Kenya, schools taught empathy economics, showing how kindness increases wealth. In Brazil, prisons transformed into rehabilitation centers focusing on mental restoration. The ripple effect was unstoppable. Wars didn't vanish, but leaders paused before pressing buttons. Words replaced weapons more often than before. It wasn't utopia. It was progress. Let's zoom in on 3 ordinary people whose lives symbolized this shift. Liam, a software engineer, once burned out after 80-hour weeks. In 2050, his company introduced mind breaks. He meditated daily, wrote gratitude lists, and within months, his creativity exploded. He patented 2 inventions that changed his career. Maya, a single mother and nurse, struggled with anxiety. The new hospital policy required 10 minutes of silence before each shift. She used those minutes to reset, and for the first time she said, "I don't dread work anymore." Ethan, a high school student bullied for stuttering, joined a Calm club. He learned breathing techniques and confidence exercises. By graduation, he gave a speech to thousands without stuttering once. These weren't miracles. They were results of a society that finally prioritized the mind. Economists noticed a wild new trend. Mental health had become profitable. Wellness companies surpassed oil companies in valuation. The peace industry emerged from apps, retreats, VR therapy, even AI life coaches. But there was a warning too. Some people started selling fake happiness hacks. The internet flooded with instant calm products. The message of true healing risked getting commercialized. Still, amid the noise, a genuine truth remained. The healthiest mind always wins. Remember when people used to interrupt constantly? In 2050, listening became fashionable. Podcasts with calm voices topped charts. Talk shows slowed their pace. Even social media introduced a feature that paused comments until users took a deep breath. And it worked. Online toxicity dropped 30%. People read before reacting. Empathy made a comeback. One comedian joked, "I tried to start an argument online, but Twitter told me to meditate first. I forgot what I was mad about." Science met spirituality halfway. Meditation wasn't labeled woo-woo anymore. It was the physics of the mind. Quantum research showed emotions affected molecular vibration. Churches and labs collaborated, preaching that faith and focus could coexist. 2050 blurred lines between belief and biology. Humans realized inner peace wasn't a religion. It was a natural state waiting to be rediscovered. Before we go further, pause. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale slowly. Ask yourself, what's your superpower today? Is it patience, kindness, forgiveness? If this story inspires you, share it with someone who needs hope. Because the revolution of peace spreads one calm breath at a time. Halfway through the year, a major event shocked the planet. A global internet outage lasted 3 days. At first, panic erupted. No social media, no notifications. But something unexpected happened and people didn't fall apart. They talked. They played board games. Families reconnected. Mental health apps reported a surge in happiness during the blackout. When the net came back, a viral post read, "We disconnected to reconnect." It became the slogan of 2050. A little girl named Zoe became the symbol of the movement. Her father posted a video of her saying, "My brain is my best friend." It hit 1 billion views. Schools printed it on posters. Zoe's message was simple. You don't need powers to be powerful. You just need peace. By December 2050, the Time Person of the Year wasn't a billionaire or a president, it was the therapist. The front page headline read, "The world finally listened." The issue featured stories of quiet revolutionaries, teachers who taught calm, paramedics who meditated between calls, gamers who promoted mental health awareness. For the first time in history, the world celebrated the invisible strength that keeps us all alive. We learned that productivity without peace is poverty, that empathy outperforms ego, that slowing down is the fastest way forward, and maybe the most beautiful lesson, healing people heal people. As the year closed, late-night hosts joked, "Remember when we thought happiness was found in a shopping cart? Now it's found in a breathing app." People laughed, but deep down, they knew this was progress worth keeping. Experts predicted 2055 would focus on emotional technology, but 2050 would always be remembered as the year humanity looked inward and found gold. Because we finally realized the mind isn't a battlefield, it's a garden, and when tended with care it grows empathy, creativity, love, and resilience. So tonight, wherever you are, pause. Close your eyes. Think about everything you've survived, all the storms you've walked through. You're not broken. You're training. You're building the calm that no chaos can steal. If 2050 taught us anything, it's this. Mental health isn't just self-care, it's world care. So share your calm. Text someone who's struggling. Compliment a stranger. Log off when it hurts. And remember, in a noisy world, your silence can heal. Because in 2050, the most powerful people weren't the richest, the loudest, or the fastest. They were the ones who learned to sit still, breathe deep, and smile at the storm. That's not a weakness. That's the new superpower.